Welcome back to Inside the Huddle. I'm Jack Keffer alongside head coach John Troxell, coming off a huge win against Muhlenberg. 17-14 your final last Saturday, the last home game at Spinagle-Williamson Field before you guys move over to the new stadium in Shattuck. Let's start with the defense. Vince Moffitt was named Centennial Conference Defensive Player of the Week. He had a key interception in that first quarter that led to your first scoring drive. What did you see from him and the rest of the defense?
You know, they played well. I mean, again, when you hold a Muhlenberg team, to 14 points, you expect to win. And, they played really well. Vince has been a mainstay back there for 4 years. I mean, he's an all-conference kid. We really wouldn't expect anything less from him. I mean, he's a good football player. He makes plays for us. I think he finished with like 12 tackles, was a CC Defensive Player of the Week. So we're really proud of him. I mean, again, and more than that, he's a great leader. I mean, I think the guys look to him. I mean, he's fiery and he plays hard. So we absolutely love him. And defensively, when you have guys that are unselfish and guys that are playing for each other, we talk all the time about, the way you build a good program is you play great defense, great special teams, and protect the football. When you look, we won the turnover battle. We won time of possession. Again, we held Nick Savant to 12 yards rushing in the second half, which, he had over 100 for the day, but we felt if we kept him around 100, we'd have a chance to win the football game, and that's what happened.
And Savant, unable to get a score under his belt, was held without a touchdown throughout the entire day. And even, like you said, he got 100 yards, but it felt like you guys were in control of the run game that whole time. And that's credit to a lot of other key contributors on your defensive end. Ben Oken with a huge stop on 4th and short in that fourth quarter. He also broke up a couple of passes. KJ Boston with some open field tackles. I mean, your defense got a lot of contributions from a lot of different guys.
Yeah, absolutely did. And again, you said it. I mean, when you stop the best back in the league, Nick Savant, in the second half, it puts you in position to win the game. Because again, it was a total team effort. I mean, even when you look at our kick game, I mean, the field goal became a critical points in the game. Offensively, again, we protected the ball pretty good where, it gave us a chance to win the game. And again, defense, we're going to need them every game down the road here, just to keep us in it.
Let's talk about the offense. Obviously going up 17-0 in that third quarter. KJ Pretty, 2 touchdown catches, and they were pretty to say the least. Tanner Erzman got it done. Talib Gerald with a couple of receptions for over 30 yards. And in the fourth quarter, you guys had a drive that lasted 6 minutes and 30 seconds that took a lot of time off the clock. It looks like your offense really managed the game well against a good Muhlenberg defensive team.
Yeah, I thought we played pretty well. I mean, we missed some opportunities to put the ball in the end zone. I mean, and obviously that's the goal. But again, Talib, Tanner, Aldi, KJ, I mean, the offensive line, I mean, again, when you have guys that can play roles and they understand their roles and what they're doing, that's when you have success. If you have guys that are selfish and it has to be about them, then that's why you lose games. And right now, like I said, I mean, again, we're 5-0, and a lot of it is we have a lot of team chemistry and a lot of guys playing for each other.
I want to talk a little bit about that offensive line. It seemed like Tanner Erzman just had so much time to throw the ball and really settle in the pocket. I know that coming into the season, they were a little bit short on numbers, but boy, they have performed very well, especially in that first half. They gave Tanner Erzman a lot of time to throw the ball back there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a credit to Coach Ballman. I think he's one of the best in the business, but putting 5 guys out there to work together, we're really excited. 3 of them are sophomores, and they're playing a lot of football for us, and they're getting better and better each week. And we need them to keep getting better, because, again, it doesn't get any easier as you come down the stretch with some of the teams we have to face. So, those guys, they deserve a lot of credit. Again, and I'm pleased with where they're at, and we'll see how it goes the rest of the way for them.
You guys won by 3 points once again. That's the third straight week that you guys have won by a field goal. What's that say about your team come crunch time in those tight games, especially in the fourth quarter? What have you learned about your football team over the last couple of weeks?
Well, we've done it different ways. Against McDaniel, we had to do it with offense in the fourth quarter, and stop them as well defensively. And in the last 2 weeks, it came down to our defense rising up and winning games for us. So we're 3 weeks in a row, total of 8 points. It just goes to show that in college football, the margin for winning and losing is very small. And it comes down to the attention to detail that our kids have. The little things that they do on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the off season, and it's a credit to the program that these kids have built, with our staff and what we hold them to be accountable so that we can be successful on Saturdays. And again, winning close games, I think if you look over probably the last 10 years, or at least the last 5 years, we've been really successful in those games. I think in the last 5 years, we're probably 11-3 in one-score games, and it's a credit to our kids.
Well, Coach, you guys have another tough game come this Saturday. You guys will visit Baltimore to take on Johns Hopkins, who are coming off a tough late loss to Ursinus, their first loss since losing to you guys in 2012. You know that Hopkins is going to come in with a chip on their shoulder looking to rebound. How do you guys come in to Baltimore?
Well, I mean, we have to do what we do. We have to worry about ourselves. Obviously, they have a fantastic team. I mean, they haven't lost a lot of games over a long stretch of time. But I think our kids are resilient. Our kids are ready to battle. I don't think that we've ever backed down from them. I think there's, the Hopkins mystique. Obviously, coming off a tough loss, it'll be interesting to see how they rebound, and they're in a situation they haven't been in a long time. For our kids, though, I think, they know that they're good. They know we have to play well. We have to execute on all three phases of the game if we're going to beat them. And, I'm looking forward to seeing how our kids do.
Well, Coach, we hope that you carry the good momentum thus far into this Saturday against Johns Hopkins. A 1 o'clock start time. You can catch that on centennialconference.tv. Coach, best of luck this Saturday.
Thank you very much.